So, most people have some type of hobby in their lives, right? Some people, they collect coins. Other people collect stamps. But I collect lesbians. And let me tell you, as a straight woman, this has gotten me into all kinds of issues. Now, it's not necessarily that I've gone out necessarily seeking lesbians or queers, as my more political and conscious brothers and sisters like to put it. But it's just that in every aspect of my life, whether it was through work or through school or just a homie that I had met since I was in the 4th grade, all of these ladies became part of my core, or as I like to call it, my collective. So 4 or 5 of us would get together and we would roll out to a club. And, we'd be all decked out and have these tight dresses on. And I would refer to them as the estrogen entourage, or les entourage. And I, to them, was their ambiguous straight chick. So one day, I was mentioning to a friend, one of my only straight friends, by the way, that I was having a hard time finding men to date. And she rolled her eyes at me and said, "Well, hello, pendeja. Why don't you think about losing the lesbos? Dump the dykes. I mean, how do you expect to meet men if they're always going to try and get you to convert?" And I said, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. I can't just dump my friends, that's ridiculous. Don't you have any other ideas? She said, "Well, I don't know. Have you thought about online dating?" I said, "No, I haven't, but you know what? I will. Specifically so I can meet a tall, educated, beautiful man to take home to my Trinidadian mother." So I go online and I decide to fill out a very honest profile on Match.com, okay? I'm interested in men. My hobbies, I like poetry and I collect people. Specific kinds of people. And politics, Black power, baby. And to reinforce it, I sent this picture of myself with my hair picked out in a fro. And I had the fist pump. And, so I really looked like a radical, Black Panther, But I had this big smile on my face, so I looked like a cheesy Black Panther. And I said send, and to see what the cupids for Match.com would come back with. So you can imagine my surprise about 2 weeks into this little experiment when I get this email from a white woman. And I was like, what the hell is this? So I click on it, and in the profile is this woman who has this long curly blonde hair, and it's flailing to the back, and she has this flask in her hand, and she's wearing this tight lingerie type of a dress thing, and the email says, "So, any chance you want to try something new?" And I thought, you know what? This has got to be a joke. I knew it. I just knew that one of the members of my entourage was fucking with me. I just knew it. And so I wrote back. I was like, you know what? This is really funny. What's the deal here? You do know that I am straight, right? And she replied, "Well, yeah, I was once straight too." Until somebody hit me up. And now I've seen the light. And I was just cracking up at this. I mean, of all the ladies on Match.com that she could have hit up, she found me? I mean, what were the chances? And so I wrote back, I was like, you know what? It just so happens that I have a lot of queer friends, okay? They've come from work, they've come from school, they've come from everywhere. So who knows? Maybe you'll just be a member of my entourage. Sure, we'll go out, we'll hang out. Why not? So we agreed to go out. And our first date, we decided to meet up at the Nuyorican, which is a poetry cafe. And the first thing that I noticed about her was that she was actually my same height, which I wasn't expecting. But then I looked and I saw that she was wearing like these 5-inch stiletto heels and had like this kind of like a rocker look to her. Like she looks like she just got out of a club. And I was like, all right, well, you know, she looks pretty decent, whatever. Okay, that's fair. So we go inside the New Yorican. And at this point and junction in my life, I was really, really, really into slam poetry. I just loved it. Mostly because I really wanted to speak like this and have amazing words of poetry coming out of my mouth and people nodding their heads in affirmation and snapping their fingers. But in reality, I didn't really have much to say. My poetry was pretty whack. And I knew it was whack. So I literally just sat there and sat there and sat there all the time while people were getting up, and I never took the stage. But Sam did. I remember she stood up, and I felt like I'd literally like acquired butterflies, like as she was standing up. It was so bizarre. But she gets to the mic, and she just spits this amazing, amazing poem, just like out of nowhere. And people got on their feet and were applauding and laughing, and everyone was just like in amazement. And I was like, wow, like, who is this white woman? Like, this is bizarre. But, you know, I was like, okay, well, hey, this is a lot of fun. This is a lot of fun. Let's do it again. So about a week later, we returned to the New Yorican, same place, same time. This time, it was a slam. And once again, Dawn sits idly by, watching as all the activities happens. She enters his name into the hat again. Boom, wins the slam. And I was like, whoa, this is ridiculous. I mean, this is sick. This chick is hot, okay? This is hot. And it was so weird because I couldn't really figure out if I was like really like drawn to like her womanliness, you know? Or if it was just that I was so like deep and into her mad lyrical skills. You know, I couldn't really figure out like which way I was going with this, but I was like, whatever, maybe I'm meant to be the president of her fan club. Hell, I don't know. But I am just gonna go with this feeling, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna go with it. So because little by little, she was giving me like a little bit more courage. I was like, you know, she can get up there and do this poetry, maybe I can too. And so little by little, I was getting my courage, I was working it out. But at the same time, she started being a little bit more distant. It was a little bit more challenging to set a time to go out. She was a little bit slower to respond to my text messages, my IMs. Until finally, I contacted her. And I was like, hey, what up, shorty? You working on some new poetry? I was like, what's the deal? Let's go do this. Like, you know, let's go to a slam. Let's make it happen. What, you know? And she was like, hey, what's up, Dawn? You know, I've been meaning to contact you. I was like, word, let's hang. Let's do this. You know, you're the shit. I'm your fan. Let's make this happen, you know? And she was like, actually, I have something that I need to tell you. I met somebody new. And I said, a new man? She said, a new woman. And unlike you, she is definitely gay. And I said, okay, so you're breaking up with me because I'm not gay? You can't break up with me because I'm not gay. That is reverse discrimination, which is the stupidest thing a black person could ever say, ever. And it was just so bizarre because here I was kind of getting upset over this when I went on to Match.com in the first place because there was too many ladies and I was looking for a man, but I found a woman and everything was just like a big mind fuck. You know, I couldn't figure out why I was even still on this site. But you know, like as it turned out, I mean, I had to let her be. She was clearly online to find wifey, and I wasn't. So when it was all said and done, I realized that, you know, she did actually help me get a lot more courage. And I never did find that tall, educated, dark-skinned man that I could take home to my Trinidadian mother. Nor did Samantha become part of my extended entourage as I initially thought she would. But I was very, very grateful for the experience because now I at least have a great story to tell on my next first date. Thank you.